This is still Good Morning Nigeria, live on the network service of the NTA. It's now time for newspaper review.
Ask me why I'm laughing. when Chukwudi is here.
Pretending to be happy, Victor.
When Chukwudi is here.
Who know you?
Good to see you this Friday morning.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
I'm looking forward to this weekend because I think I'm beginning to creak in the wrong places again.
Oh no. Not in 2026.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Chukwudi. Good to see you. All right, let's look at the papers now. We'll begin with the blueprint. The blueprint leads with Electoral Act review. Vote buyers risk 5 million naira fine, 2-year jail, 10-year ban from politics. All right. The writers' exercise will usher in electoral credibility, stable democracy, according to Bamidele Adegbomire, chairs Senate 7-man Amendment Committee. Away from that, above the masthead, Remi Tinubu Jigawa, Kano governors Idris for book launch on Northern Women Development in Kaduna. That's on page 17. And just below the masthead, we have court grants Yahaya Bello permission to perform Lesser Hajj. Interesting. That's on page 17. And looking below the picture story this morning on the front page of the blueprint, we have Tinubu's reforms restoring global confidence in Nigeria. That's according to Shetima. Task procurement professionals on integrity and transparency. Below that, FAN launches electric shuttle buses for net zero carbon emissions. That's on page 19. Why Kano Deputy Governor should resign, according to the Commissioner. That's on page 9. And 7 suspected traffickers arrested negotiating sale of day-old baby. That's on page 15. Not a good one. And finally, we have tax Ombudsman office will fast-track Nigeria's 1 trillion naira economy. That's according to an official. It's game changer of new tax reforms. So that's about it on the blueprint. Let's see the Nation next. The Nation says Senate takes steps to fast-track Electoral Act 2022 amendment. Electronic transfer of results, BVAS use may be legalized. That's right here on the front page of the Nation, and it is the boldest story. Just above that, in the red strip, by-elections to hold in Kano, Rivers, February 21. FCT Area Council poll, same day. That's on page 4. All right. Just below the masthead, we have Katsina State CJ. No bandits released in exchange for peace. Requests undergoing due process. All right. You want to read up all of that? The Nation will guide you. And above the masthead, Zulum OK's direct payment of local government allocations.
Now you're talking. I like that.
Fantastic.
I was waiting. If you skipped it.
I couldn't have skipped a story like that.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Of course, Babagana Omar Zulum, always in the news for the right reasons. And away from that, Senate probes deplorable snail speed train services. That's on page 3. First Lady Institute's 50 million naira endowment fund at Tasfuid. And Kano government to resolve emir tussle between Bayero and Sanusi II. That's on page 3. That's about it on the front page of the Nation. Other stories you can find in the paper.
All right, and I have the Leadership Friday. The lead story reads, NNPP kicks as pressure mounts on Kano Deputy Governor to resign. You want details of that? You get it on page 4 of the Leadership. And above that story, Senate appoints Ushomole Tambuwal to 7-man Electoral Act Review Committee. Details on page 21. Right inside the nameplate, rehabilitation, upgrading of IBB Golf Club's facilities begin. For details, go to page 30. And in this tiny strip just above the picture story, Diezani had no powers to award contracts. Defense Counsel tells UK court. Details on page 4. And to the last set of stories. In politics, APC governors move to strengthen grassroots structures ahead of 2027. Relatives of abductees embark on hunger strike, Kruminwali village head. That's accredited to him and it's on page 7. Just as Northern Christians decry Sharia Council's rejection of INEC chair, with details on page 13. And finally, Naira appreciates to 1,385 to a dollar, highest in 20 months. And that's on page 16. Chukwudi, you want to
I
start
wanted
with that?
to say that that's a milestone, in terms of financial economics there now. That's the best it has done for as long as I can remember, Let's pray that it gets down to even a 900 naira sometime. Good. The deputy governor in Kano, he's in a very tricky situation. Kwankwaso would like to have an ear in the cabinet, so his presence there, he needs it. But the governor, Governor Yusuf, might be looking at the man now as the traitor in the house, Yes. So the man really is in a very tricky situation, whichever way you look at it. All I'm interested in is let them resolve it within their political talk. Let it never spill to the sentiments that could be aroused on the streets of Kano, because that will be an entirely different matter. It's tinderbox when politics goes south in Kano. So that's my worry there.
No, but my advice to the deputy governor is that he should tread with caution,
But he is treading with caution.
Because
We want him on this side. But again, he can still be the ear of his godfather.
That's what I'm saying.
Even if he decamps, he can still be. That's a personal thing. It's not an official requirement.
Well, maybe he's a man of principles. He's not going to become a spy and pretend he's still there. Some people are like that. They will tell you it's either I'm on the right or I'm on the left. That's how some people are.
But I
know
think
what you're talking about.
with the kind of person he will still have information if he wants. From
But what you're intoning is that he gets embedded, then he reports to his master. Anyway, let me quickly go to Zulum so that, when Chukwudi starts, Zulum okays direct payment of local government allocations.
Fantastic.
And I was actually going to talk about how the deputy governor who announced this said that it is in pursuance of democratic principles and the fact that the Supreme Court has ruled. When I come here and talk about my dear Baba Gana Zulum, I started talking about him more than 2 years ago. Then I talk about the NDLEA chairman, and I don't say it because people should be liked. A good man is a good man. You feel them. Baba Gana Zulum is actually not a politician. He's a technocrat among politicians.
Professor.
That's why he talks differently. And that's the kind of person we need in politics.
Not just talking differently.
I am really happy to hear this.
Differently.
No, but
He behaves differently. When he told us that there is treachery within the forces that are fighting Boko Haram. That's part of the problem we have. The man comes out, says it the way it is. And we want to wish
and you can see the
that politics has more like him. Because they're going to get a good deal.
And you see, I'm just thinking, considering the chaos, or if you like, the troubles that Borno State has faced, with insecurity,
Yes.
and the effort he has put in, to ensure that there's peace, to ensure that the people enjoy the dividends of democracy.
The man is not afraid of anything.
I'm just imagining if it was a state that didn't have so much security concerns, how much development they would have experienced by now.
Look at that.
Because I look at Borno, or I hear stories about Borno and see pictures actually, and I'm like, this is not a typical Nigerian governor.
Yes.
Right? That we've seen, in recent
Thank
times.
you, Mary. Thank you so
I'm
much.
sorry. I'm sorry.
so happy you're talking about my Zulum.
Chukwudi, I'm sorry to dampen the mood.
You always dampen
Don't
the mood.
dampen the mood
The
here.
idea is this. Good man, no doubt. You see it in his conduct. You hear it from those who know him closely. But on the issue of, local governments getting their dues, did he have to okay it? He didn't have to okay it. It is the law.
What about the people who have ignored the law? What have you done to them?
You don't compare with the worst. You compare with what is standard. It is the law. It should be obeyed.
So what is the standard?
The president has
Which state?
The president has had cause to threaten late last year that he is just, being respectful, that he would direct them to deduct it directly and pay.
Exactly.
He had to do that before this happens.
The
And
Supreme
so it's
Court-
much ado.
the
It's not a
Supreme
lot
Court-
of. This should have been done a long
The
time
Supreme
ago.
Court has spoken.
It's law.
Who are you not to comply?
It's law.
We joke too
Agreed,
much.
agreed,
So
agreed.
let's not make it look like there's one big thing about it. It is the law, and the president had to threaten for this to happen.
Okay, besides Borno State, which other state has taken a cue?
It doesn't make it.
Yeah, let's
right.
go to the next story. His
doesn't
cup
make it
is
right.
always half empty of water.
doesn't
Our
make it
cup
right.
is half full of water,
It is the
isn't
law.
it? You know?
Senate takes steps to fast-track Electoral Act 2022 amendments. And we hear that vote buyers risk 5 million naira fine, 2-year jail, 10-year ban from politics.
And I'll tell you, the albatross is the onus of proof. How do you prove who bought votes?
Now, who
What if
sold
he
it?
decides to give cash? So there is no online, imprint, or what is it called now? You know, you can't trace it online. They're not transferring it online. In which case, a detective would say, "What was this money for?" They could give them a government must go.
A loan. It could be a trader
They
money
always have
or a farmer
when
something before
each
the election.
electoral law is enacted, politicians start thinking how it can be circumvented. Please, not all of you, some of you, okay? It's called catch me if you can, particularly in Africa, in Nigeria. That's where we are, but we will keep on catching them. Let them enact more laws.
Well, relatives of abductees are now embarking on hunger strike to get attention.
And why wouldn't
for
they?
their relatives that
Why
are in
wouldn't
captivity?
they? We need to be sober in talking about this.
Honestly.
He who feels it knows it. When it happens to the other man, it's as if it happened to a tree in the forest. You can't even begin to understand the anguish, the ordeal they are going through. I understand their predicament, their pain. We can only plead that the president puts in the kind of determination we saw when he told us that all those who were abducted earlier would be released. And they eventually got released. So it can be done again.
There was a story last week about a particular, community that's in Kaduna, where they actually sold certain bags of maize.
Oh yeah, to raise
to be
money.
able to raise money to pay ransom.
And imagine the number of bags they would have sold because maize, the price of maize has hit the ground.
And then think about how that community would survive by the time they need that maize.
Because usually they keep it
so
for
they
when
can,
it will appreciate a little to sustain
them
to school fees for children.
till the
and all.
next harvest season.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when
That-
people make you a
that speaks-
stranger in your own home.
That speaks of desperation. They're not desperate to
Yes.
have their own back,
We
as it
really
should
pray
be.
that our security forces would be able to do something for the Kuminwali people. It's unfortunate.
It is well. Senate probes deplorable snail speed train services.
What is
What is there to probe?
well? Is it the kind of rail tracks we have?
Or the kind of train?
Is it the kind of train? You have to find out
Security.
what is responsible for it. Is it that the trains that were bought, who were not brand new? I remember some Tata
Or
buses they bought.
rebranded.
I remember some Tata buses from India they bought for us when I was in secondary school. They no last 3 months. They were really tattered after 3 months, you know. You go couple some old engines. You say you painter. After all, there was a spanking new aircraft for, was it Air Nigeria? Look, I didn't.
Please don't go there,
I didn't
Nigeria
come here
Air.
to be put in trouble. Is that clear? Can we please analyze newspapers?
Well, I guess we can thank Chukwu
Yeah, thank
Dekwelumba
you.
at this point. Well said. Thank you, so that you continue your laughter after this time out.
Thank you so
Please
much.
Enjoy
stay
your
with us.
weekend.
Good morning,
Have a nice
Nigeria
weekend.
returns after this break.